we're excited to get going. Thanks, Scott.
All right, thanks, Josh and Scott. That's great. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Today, we're going to talk with Intermountain Business Lending about how they're transforming and improving their lending process with a strategic partnership with mysherpas. So as introduced, my name is Don Wicker, and I'm the CTO and co-founder of mysherpas. And we've got also from mysherpas here, Joshua Talbert, our CEO and co-founder. And then from Intermountain Business Lending, we've got Caryl, Eriksson, their CEO, and Kalia Clark, SVP and loan officer there. So kind of to start it off, I'm going to ask a question of Caryl. So Intermountain Business Lending, you've transformed your lending recently, and let's see, you had a record-breaking year in this last year, and you're looking to triple your loan volume by 2027. So what made you think it was time to rethink your tech stack?
So we've always been looking for technology solutions, things that could help make us more efficient. And we did some major restructuring a year ago and then set some new goals. So yeah, we're targeting to go from 50 loans this year to 100 loans by 2027. We have a 15-person team, and hiring additional isn't feasible. We hired the 15 with the growth in mind. Now we need the right tools in place. We need lean operations, and we need to keep control of our systems. We also didn't just want another tool. We've tried out many different tools, and two things: they're only as good as the information that's in them, and only as good as the support we get from the tool supplier. So we needed a partner that could really understand what we wanted.
Yeah, there's some aggressive growth goals.
Yes. So Kalia, I was going to have him come in. Can you take us back to how it's been, what our processes have looked like, and what wasn't working?
Yeah, absolutely. So we used a lot of different platforms, everything that everybody's probably familiar with, from Microsoft Office to File Invite, Ventures, Outlook, ShareFile, and many other platforms to manage our loan process. It did seem very disconnected though, because we had just so many platforms, and one loan could potentially touch 5 different platforms, and it just was not the most effective and efficient use of anybody's time, as we were busy chasing documents in different platforms, tracking different versions down, and then we just found a lot of duplication in our efforts with all the different platforms. So it really slowed us down. It made our deals go slower and made collaboration just frustrating, both internally and externally. We definitely needed to simplify, but still give borrowers and lending partners a high-touch experience. And we've felt that it's been great for us to do that with the mysherpas platform.
Yeah, we've certainly heard in talking to many lenders and other people in the business, it's similar pain points. So let's talk a little bit about the mysherpas model. Joshua, what's the difference about our process and why was it developed?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, IMBL was in a common scenario that we've seen across the marketplace. I've also been to, more than 60 trade shows these past 3 years. And as a buyer of new technology, as a user of technology, I think it can be quite hard to find what tool actually works with your business. So in response to that, we've developed a very unique framework we call the Summit Success Process, which is a 4-step process for us to not only understand a prospective client, but for them to understand us, how we work, and for us also to dig deeper into their tools, their process, and technology. So the first step in that process is a short 45-minute meeting. We call that Map the Route, which is truly a discovery of what tools are using at a high level and who's involved in those, to see if even what we offer would be a good fit to spend time together. The next step we call Inspect the Gear as a marketing term, but it was really called Guided Assessment for the sales team. And that's really where we dig deep. We bring in our lending expert, our technology expert, and we asked the prospective client, in this case, IMBL, just a few months ago, and they brought in their entire team, and we talk really deep about the tech stack that Caryl mentioned, the process involved, and the people who touch that process. We document that whole thing, do the heavy lifting for the group, and we move. And from those two meetings, in the third step, which we call the final check, we deliver a documented report of everything that we've learned with recommendations, both without our tool and with our tool. And we also deliver a tailored demo, which shows, in this case, showed IMBL exactly where we fit in their process. And so it gives them and their entire decision-making team a clear picture of where we could be used, immediately. And if that makes sense, after they see that, after, the prospect sees that, we move into pricing and proposal. So it's a really nice process. It kind of go slow to go fast. That allows us really to understand each other, how we work, and how that relationship will be, moving forward. So it's been a very effective tool up to date.
Okay, thanks.
For you, Caryl, you just went through this, as I mentioned. Can you highlight to us how that resonated, the process resonated with your team, and how that approach was different than with other vendors you had worked with in the past?
You bet. So like Josh said, my Sherpas came in and spent time with our leadership team to really dig into our processes and highlight where we were experiencing our roadblocks. And I'll mention that we attend several trade shows every year, and I've been chatting with my Sherpas for several years about this platform. And the thing that I think made them stand out exceptionally was their culture, the culture of care that they have with their clients. I was just blown away by that. And two, when I would chat with them and talk to them about what I wanted to see in a platform, I could tell that they were listening because every time we would chat, they would talk about something that we had touched on. So that was just next level for me. So the process was so collaborative, lots of open dialogue, so refreshing. It was very unique that they were able to sit with us and actually tailor what our needs were. Their platform is so it's so easy to work within that they were able to tailor it to fit us. And another key point was when they came to us and said, hey, we've come up with a summit success process. Would you be interested in sitting down with us? And there was no cost at this stage. And that again, that was a breath of fresh air, just time. So they're willing to provide this value as part of the sales process right up front, where they sit down with you and your team and actually go through what your needs are and how they can provide some success for those needs. And one of the things that made me think of was like, you can go buy a suit off the rack and have it tailored a little bit, or you can go have a tailor make you a custom-made suit that's going to fit. And this felt like the bespoke custom-made suit to me, this process. It was wonderful.
Yeah, we've actually changed the pricing, Caryl. It's $19.97, but only if you buy today.
Okay, fine.
I'm kidding. So thank you. That's awesome. It's very flattering. We really are working on providing value. That's one of the things we focus on, is making sure that as we have those conversations, you know where we fit and you know how the software will work for you. And then we're not going to be software on a shelf. It's really going to be something that your team can use and find basically an extra person on your team, someone else in the background making sure things get done. So Kalia, a question for you. What happened after you went live? Any immediate wins?
Yeah, absolutely. So IMBL went live just a few weeks ago, and we are already seeing wins. Initially, we're seeing a 15% faster time from application to close, and expect to see an increase in other areas as our team becomes more proficient. With some of the automated features, we have seen our manual document handling drop by 80%, which has been great. Everything is now centralized, so there's no platform juggling across many different systems. And an additional enhancement is the compliance that is built into the mysherpas platform. So we expect to maintain our stellar audit performance within the system, and it really has all of our needs from a processing standpoint kind of built into the system, which has been great because it's allowed us to free up some time, especially on the sales and marketing side of things, to focus on borrowers, lending partners, chasing new deals. The streamlining has allowed IMBL to reduce loan processing turn times while increasing our availability for marketing and prospecting. So that's a huge win in itself.
Oh, that's fantastic. What are you doing with all your extra time? I hope it's taking people out to lunch and playing golf.
There's some of both of that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Golf, it's always golf. It's always golf. No, we got to throw in some pickleball too.
All right, lunch and golf and pickleball. I got it.
Yeah.
And we should know too that IMBL is a CDC, and they do arguably one of the most complex loans in the marketplace, right? SBA 504 in terms of what needs to be delivered to get that closed. So you guys, working on that is quite a testament to the value it's added to your process.
It really is.
So Caryl, from a leadership perspective, did anything stand out?
So one of the things that stood out the most to me on this program, because I've looked at so many different platforms, is that it removed a lot of the ambiguity. So everyone on our team can now know where deals stand. Instead of checking emails, sharing email logins, trying to figure out what people have talked about, it's all in one place, and it's awesome. So one of the things I love the most is that you can email directly through mysherpas, and it has an API right with Microsoft Outlook, and it's easy for everyone to communicate, because once you email through mysherpas, any replies from a client, from a lending partner, from someone within our team, all of that correspondence is in one place under one loan. And that is, I don't even have a good word for it. That's money. That we can see that type of transparency on a deal. And the ability to communicate so quickly within the program. And it helps us not just grow our business, but it helps us grow and do it with confidence and trust. It increases our clients' trust in us that we know what we're doing and we're communicating well. I feel like it will help reinforce our reputation, and it gives us the room to scale the way we would like to.
It's fantastic. Yeah, missing emails, there's no quicker way to get people frustrated in a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So Joshua, security, compliance, borrower trust, these are big issues right now in lending. How does mysherpas address that?
Yeah, I love that Caryl loves the communication part of our platform. It's an area that we've focused on a lot. Dawn, you and me both being commercial borrowers as well, we've understood that the collaboration and communication piece is the most critical part in lending, especially for the brokers on the call here. We actually have some IP around it that sets us apart from others. As Caryl mentioned, if you're communicating from our platform, if your borrower or lending partner happens to email you, which we're still seeing 50 to 60% of the time, rather than go to a secure portal, we actually grab those email messages, those documents, and put them right in the relevant loan file for you. So it just saves more time, puts things in a relevant location for you to be clear where things are at in a particular deal. It's also allowed IMBL to reduce their tech stack. So I think they've gone from 5 platforms to 2 platforms with us. So that communication piece has been really important there. And then in addition, for those that are concerned about security, by using our platform, no longer will documents with personal information ever hit your email server. So you can rest assured that everything is being securely scanned and stored in mysherpas. You don't have to worry about those documents on your email server. So that's another added benefit to being in the platform, along with all of the other features that Caryl and Kalia have mentioned.
Thanks. All right, so Caryl, you were talking to someone and they're all, I don't know about that mysherpas thing, a little bit hesitant about it. And what would you say to them? This, just for everybody here, this is a shameless plug to get you to listen to us.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not getting paid for this, okay? So this is real. And I have chatted, just a little background, we're actually right in my Sherpa's backyard here in Utah. And so we run into them occasionally, plus at those other trade shows that we attend. And we met with them a few years ago, and I was blatantly honest. In fact, I said to them, I'm extremely transparent and I'm just going to be blunt. Can you guys handle that? And they said, yes, we can, absolutely. And so when I say that I've worked with them and they've listened, I'm not joking, because I've really told them where our pain points are and what we need to see. So if you're still using spreadsheets and multiple platforms and patch together tools, or trying to get 2 different or 3 different or 4 different platforms to talk to each other, it is absolutely worth looking at the right tech, not just more tech. And my Sherpas has gone out of their way to make sure they're the right tech. Not only did they come up with a stellar platform, I'm just really blown away by what it can accomplish, but they are a values-based, value-added partner. They're a really good fit. I was just so pleased with that our basic values and our core culture really fit together. They were almost looking to be a servant to us, which is really unique in the marketplace, and I appreciate it so much. They wanted to do what would help us the most.
Now I feel like I should be paying you.
Right?
Make us blush. No, I love that.
You have our address. We work for chocolate. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll bring some cookies over. No, we certainly believe we've built something innovative and helpful, but we are super biased. So hearing that from someone else is wonderful. Kalia, on your side, advice to loan officers worried about adopting a new system.
Yeah, so change is obviously always scary, or can be. Just the unknown, right? But mysherpas makes things easier, not harder or more difficult. So the nice thing is with that personal touch through our account representatives, we have guided step-by-step processes in place, and we have someone that's always available to help us with anything, even as it comes out on an ad hoc basis. We have, our guys' contact information, and if something pops up where we're kind of unsure about, it's always just a quick email out to him, and he's super responsive. So it's been great having him as a resource to help us through the process. And really, like I had mentioned earlier, implementing the mysherpas platform into our model has allowed us on the sales and marketing side of things just more time building relationships and less time chasing the paperwork. So yeah, it's been
lunch and golf and pickleball.
A lot more golf, pickleball, lunches, etc. So it's been a game changer for my role on the sales side, and also for our clients with a more streamlined and effective effort in our process. So we're excited for the partnership, and we're excited to see how we can continue to grow with mysherpas.
All right, thank you for that. I think we've got some time for questions here. Scott, how do questions work on this? Where do I see those?
Yeah, we'll let them. Anybody has any questions, they'll put them in a question box. I do see a couple popping up. This all sounds great, and this is really cool. And we have a lot of brokers on the phone, so I gotta think this is going to work well for them. How long does the onboarding process take? Because I know everybody's busy out there.
I'll point that at Joshua and Caryl here. Joshua, you want to go first?
Yeah, in the case of Caryl and Kalia, their team is 15 folks roughly. And I think we went from, initial, say, go to live loans in about 24 days. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the values of the platform is whatever folder structure, naming convention, however you're working today, as Caryl mentioned, the platform is very flexible to adopt. So that's why we can have very, fast onboarding times, is because it's very easy for the team to work how they used to work, but they get the power of the platform. So our company goal is less than 45 days for any new client, regardless of size. but we're seeing that sit around the 25 to 30-day mark on average with new clients this year.
Very good. And then
And
how about
I would
sorry,
add,
go ahead.
if I add, so I would add that the onboarding time, my Sherpas will go as quickly as your team can handle. And so we probably could have gone faster other than getting our leadership team together and our staff together to go through the trainings had to be scheduled out. But it wasn't that they were delaying us at all. It was simply us. The other part I want to put in is that the summit success process, they go into such depth with you on what you're looking for that by the time you say go, they're almost halfway there. And so they've taken a lot of they've done hard work prior to you signing the contract, and it just speeds up the process.
That's great. Now, what about cost? Is this cost effective?
Yeah, so the nice thing is our cost is like our platform, like our process, it's very tailored to the size of the business. So our goal is to find a win-win pricing structure for the prospective client and us. And so we're very flexible and open to finding what is the best solution. Is, you know, in the case of IMBL, we set a pricing structure to allow them to grow to the level that they want. For other new prospects, we look at their business, we look at what their goals are, and we try to put pricing that, you know, truly add value and make sure that it's a place that it's a win-win for both parties.
That's great. And what I thought was fascinating from what y'all were talking about is, and I'm not sure if it was Don or Kalia, but you mentioned it, but when the emails are coming in with documentations, you're able to pluck those documents out and drop them in the right folders where everything's supposed to be. That to me that's priceless. Because I still work on the deal size, and I kid you not, to this day I get emails with 10 or 12 documents in there, and they're like all over the place. So that in itself is priceless just for that feature alone.
Yeah, and especially in the case of brokers where you're trying to collect, you know, that 10 or 11 pieces of information to pre-qual the deal before you send it to your lending partners, it makes that step really easy for you to be working on the fly. There's a mobile app, so you guys can attack things that way. So it does really help those that are out running around playing golf, pickleball, and lunches like Kalia.
That's great. Hey, Carly, question for you. If someone's on the fence about exploring new solutions with MySherpa, what would you tell them? What would you get them on the other side of the fence and pull the trigger?
Well, first of all, there's zero risk. There is zero risk up front because they've set up this summit success process so that they're taking a chance on you, right? So they're willing to spend their time to see if they're a good fit for your company. And so there's really no risk. The only risk you're taking is time. And I know time is valuable, but the thing I loved about it is that we took the jump to take the risk on the time to go through this process. But then when we did say go, MySherpas had already halfway started our platform for us. And so it was time well spent. No risk. They don't just want your business, they want to collaborate with you. And it's honestly, I don't know how to, this isn't in a script or anything. This is just, I don't know how to convey the feeling of working with Josh and with Wilson and with Aaron, because we know them on a first name basis, and just the value add they have in their personalities, in their core culture, and they truly come at it like they are trying to find a solution for you. And if they can't find the solution, they'll go out and look for it. And so that's what I would say is there's no risk. You know, take the leap and spend a little bit of time if you're at all interested, because they will spend the time with you.
That's great. And I think in Joshua, I don't know if it was you or Carly that mentioned it, but Carly, you went from 5 platforms to 2 platforms?
We did. And honestly, it was almost just a dollar for dollar swap in our case, where we were able to get rid of platforms that really weren't serving us and switch over to MySherpas so that everything's in one place. And I don't feel like it, in the end, it's not going to cost us any more at all.
Right. That's great. And then how much time did it save your team? Right, you're going from 5 to 2 platforms, just being so much more organized. And I work with a lot of CDC and 504 lenders, and I know that they're pulling their hair out a lot trying to make all the pieces fit. This just had to be a blessing for you guys.
So it is in several ways. It's not always easy to put a finger on time, but productivity, well, productivity is time, but we struggled to get our loan officers. I understand you know what it is to be a broker or a loan officer or be gathering and out chatting with people. They didn't have time to learn 5 platforms. They just didn't. And you know, plus, and we were asking them to do other things. And so this was not, you know, platforms weren't the top of their list. So to cut it down to 2, so the 2 we use are mysherpas plus a proprietary software for our industry. That allows us to submit loans to SBA through their portal. So we can't get rid of that. But another value add is that mysherpas has also directly worked with that other platform we use. So they even integrate at one point. So that just cut another little piece of time off for us. Yeah, so it's tough for me to put a finger on time, but as brokers or loan officers or whatever, you can understand that there's just not time to work on 5 platforms. 2 platforms just streamline the process like crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool. This is really exciting stuff. That was some great questions. Is there any other questions out there that anybody would like to ask everybody while we have them on the line? Great story, by the way, Caryl. That was really cool. I appreciate it. But I don't see any other questions popping up right now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you jumping on. Joshua, I'll get you and your team, like I said, the recording, and I'll get you a list of everybody that was on the webinar today, so you can reach out to them directly. Caryl, great story. Like I said, I've worked with a lot of CDCs and 504s, and I know what you guys go through and how much work you're putting out in the marketplace, and to be able to hear how your company is streamlined to get to where you are today because of mysherpa is awesome. It's really cool stuff to hear.
Thank you.
Joshua, with that said, do you want, we're coming to a close here. Is there anything you want to leave the brokers with on the line?
Well, I just want to say, thank you to Caryl, Kalia, Don for, participating in this. And then if anyone is interested in getting in touch with us and booking a discovery call, you can do that through the website, or you can email me directly at josh@sherpas.ai. And from there, we can organize a meeting and have that first step and see if what we've done for IMBL would be of use to you and your business. And thank you, Scott, and the CLBA for giving us the opportunity to speak today.
And it's a special
thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Sorry, it's a special one-time 1997 offer.
1997. There you go. Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time this afternoon. I'm sure we'll be speaking soon, and I know you'll see you guys out in October out in Orlando too. So we're super excited to have you out again. And thanks for sharing your story, Caryl. And it was great to meet you also. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.